According to the National Electrical Code Section 384.16a, every branch circuit, feeder, and sub-feeder must be protected by an overcurrent protective device. Additionally, NEC Section 110.10 states that all circuits and equipment must be protected from overcurrent conditions by circuit breakers or fuses. These requirements are in place to safeguard against potential hazards like short circuits and ground faults, which can lead to equipment damage, fires, and electrical shocks. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to automatically interrupt the flow of electricity when the current exceeds a safe level. Now, let's discuss distance considerations and the so-called 100-foot rule as outlined in NEC Section 384.16b. This rule provides an exception to the general requirement of having overcurrent protection at the point where conductors receive their supply. However, this exception is only applicable if certain conditions are met. Specifically, NEC Section 384.16b allows overcurrent protection for a panel to be located up to 100 feet from the source, but only if the following two conditions are satisfied. Firstly, the overcurrent device is rated at not less than 60% of the rating of the assembly, and secondly, the ampacity of the conductors to the overcurrent device is not less than 125% of the overcurrent device ampere rating. Let's break down these conditions further. The first condition ensures that the overcurrent device is appropriately sized to protect the panel and its components. While requiring the overcurrent device to be rated at not less than 60% of the panel's rating, the code aims to prevent overloading and potential damage to the panel. The second condition focuses on the conductors that supply power to the panel. By requiring the ampacity of these conductors to be not less than 125% of the overcurrent device's ampere rating, the code ensures that the conductors can safely carry the expected current without overheating. This also provides a margin of safety in case of temporary overloads. Now, it's important to understand that if the panel is located more than 100 feet from the source, the 100-foot rule does not apply. In such cases, the general requirement of having overcurrent protection at the point where conductors receive their supply takes precedence. This means that a main circuit breaker is required at the panel to protect it from overcurrent conditions. To illustrate these concepts, let's consider a scenario where a panel is located 150 feet from the switchboard. In this case, since the distance exceeds 100 feet, the 100-foot rule is not applicable. Therefore, the panel must be protected by a main circuit breaker. On the other hand, if the panel were located only 50 feet from the switchboard, the 100-foot rule could potentially be applied, provided that the two conditions mentioned earlier are met. In that case, it may be permissible to omit the main circuit breaker at the panel. However, it's crucial to consult with a qualified electrical engineer or inspector to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. In summary, when a panel is located more than 100 feet from the source, a main circuit breaker is required at the panel to protect it from overcurrent conditions. The 100-foot rule, as outlined in NEC Section 384.16b, provides an exception to this requirement, but it is only applicable if certain conditions are met. It's always recommended to consult with a qualified electrical professional to ensure that the electrical system is designed and installed in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations.